Right here in America, folks, and Jesse Jackson doesn't care.
Look, people need to wake up and realize that these criminals will do anything for money. This just came out today, Alex, that in nursing homes, they realize that they can get triple the compensation from Medicare if they send a senior citizen to the hospital for 3 days and then bring them back to the nursing home. They get triple the compensation. So what do? They have them sent to the hospitals, and they have tubes inserted into their bodies, and they have surgical procedures. They're using your parents and your grandparents.
But again, what do you expect when people warehouse mama and papa and don't care because you're out partying? You'll be there in 10 years. Don't worry. No, you don't go check on them. You don't care. So, of course, predators are going to move in. They're going to do it. I mean, this is how evil works. And so now we are seen as steaks at the supermarket. We are literally seen as the food by the criminals.
You nailed it. That's the right term, predators. They are predators, and the people who haven't woken up are the prey. And if there is a silver lining to any of this, Alex, it's that more and more people are waking up because they realize that what we're talking about here is true, that this is really happening.
Listen, my dad told me when I was a kid that they killed people in Dallas hospitals for their organs.
There has been an underground trade in organs.
But that's come out now.
Yes, absolutely. I remember I told a doctor friend of mine that 10 years ago, and he laughed at me. Said, that doesn't go on. Are you kidding me? Kidney? You can buy a kidney on the black market. Sure you can. Where do they come from? Who knows? But people are making money on this trade. They're making money on the children. They're making money on the senior citizens. And they're making money.
Look, when you're naive, it allows evil to grow and grow and grow to critical mass. And, folks, we're reaching that. And they're going to blow stuff up. The false flag, like you wrote a few weeks ago, you can see it in the programming. They know we're awake. They're going to make 9/11 look like child's play. And then they're going to try to come arrest people that tell the truth. And at that point, folks, you've got to choose a side. Because going along with these people is not going to help you. Mike, stay there. We're going to come right back on the other side. Incredible interview. We could talk for 10 hours. I want to get into Chuck Norris and all the rest of it. It's just, folks, you got to decide what side you're on. Chuck Norris is clearly deciding. He's talking about optics. It's the final segment of the official radio show, but I will go into overdrive for 5 minutes to get to Jonathan, Rick, and Justice Badger. And we're going to just leave the other phone lines open. Well, maybe Mark. I don't know how I'm going to get to all these people. Mike Adams is our guest. There is so much to cover and go over here. Gosh, we've already talked about the normal thing. But you've got a big article at naturalnews.com today about this. Chuck Norris strikes back against GMOs, codex-alimentarius, and government assault against health freedom. And Entity talks about the codex-alimentarius, New World Order, dangers of GMOs, how we have a right to labeling. And again, I'm not always like on this Chuck Norris worship fest, even though he's come on my show off and on for 5-6 years. Suddenly, he's talking about our government's funding Al-Qaeda. That was the headline, plugging Infowars.com. I was just on Drudge, and they've got crony capitalism, a term that patriots pretty much coined decades ago, about Obama giving money to all his select insiders. I mean, we're really having an effect here, Mike.
Yeah, clearly. And this is a great example of it. I don't know Chuck Norris. I didn't even write that article. That was written by Ethan. But for Chuck to have such notoriety and to come out and take a strong, courageous position against GMOs, which is the greatest environmental catastrophe of our time, which is why Al Gore won't even mention it, because he's not a real environmentalist. And I do have a story coming out.
Well, the system tries to make it a liberal thing. Like, oh, Limbaugh says liberals are against GMOs. All the big environmentalists don't touch it. But you've got all the studies where it sterilizes rats in 3 generations.
Look, GMOs it should cross the political spectrum, and it does.
It's infecting everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. By the way, there's big news.
You talk about science being settled.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
no question. But kudos to Chuck Norris. For whatever reason, he decided to come to this conclusion and take this stand. He deserves credit for it. And by the way, you know he's going to be attacked by the biotech trolls.
Pimp Bob.
Absolutely. Trolls are paid to go online and attack people like me and like you and now like Chuck Norris.
They're admittedly. I love it.
Oh, yeah. And you can tell they're trolls.
We're some of the most attacked out there, and I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, that's how you know you're being effective. Because now Monsanto or these other companies are actually having to pay PR teams.
By the way, they've been caught. It's not our opinion.
I know, exactly. Yeah, they've been caught. But kudos to Chuck Norris. And look, next week there's big news coming out about GMOs. I know you'll want to cover it, so I'll just leave it at that. I can't say it all right now. But Also, we are going to be challenging environmentalists to come out and take a position against GMOs. Because how can you call yourself an environmentalist if you ignore the greatest environmental threat of our time, which is the genetic pollution of our food system, of our entire planet?
Listen, we are genetic creatures that developed on this planet. The system is rewriting it all. It's jumping into other species, already causing huge problems. And then we're not supposed to be able to even have a debate about it?
No. Not supposed to say anything. You're supposed
to pay Al Gore money
for the carbon taxes. CO2 is killing us, but GMOs, they're perfectly fine. It's going to feed the world. That's the lie. That's the big lie. First of all, GMOs don't even have higher yields than regular crops, by the way.
Oh, it comes out they're big scams.
Yeah, farmers are committing suicide across India and other countries.
Everywhere they come in, it just destroys everything.
Absolutely.
I've seen the documentaries in South America where they got the soybean deserts.
Yeah.
And and just it's killing everybody around them.
Anyway, big news coming out on that next week, but definitely kudos to Chuck Norris, and I hope you have him on your show, Alex. Because
hey, he's been on many times. We've been emailing the last few months. We'll see. Hey, Chuck, if you're out there, your wife's very nice. Please have her read her email. We're gonna go through a publisher. That's another way to get him on. But we're gonna come back, take a few calls. In closing here, I'm gonna cover this tonight when you're on the TV show with us at 7 o'clock. Wisconsin, no right to produce or eat food. And you actually read the judge's ruling. The judge says there is no fundamental right to develop and grow your own food, or to have your own cow, your own dairy, or the right to have a cow and drink its milk.
You slaves. Added slaves.
I mean, these people really think they're God. A bunch of above-the-law scumbags. See you tonight, 7 o'clock, InfoWars Nightly News with Mike Adams. Okay, I want to jam in a few calls, but Aaron Dykes is following basically what you've told him and what pharmacist Ben Fuchs has told him. And I've just been doing it for like a month, and I've lost like 10 pounds. I'm still fat. People can see I've lost weight, especially when I'm not on TV. I'm not too photogenic. I'm feeling a lot better, except for today. I've got some kind of stomach thing. And Aaron has lost a lot of weight. My wife's just started it. She can totally feel it, and her skin's like radiating. Because once you start eating nutrients, you now don't need as much food. You're not hungry.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Ben was a great guest on your show. I hope you have him back on. And I listened carefully to his interview, and I agreed with everything he said, that a lot of hunger is really caused by nutritional deficiencies. And once you remineralize, which you can do through superfoods like Enerfood and like some of the other, I bring superfoods most of the time.
Yeah, you brought us some today.
Yeah, I'm always bringing stuff. I brought chia seeds, and your crew is like addicted to chia seeds now, which is great. I'll bring more.
You're like a drug pusher.
I am, yeah, except I'm not selling it. I'm just bringing.
You're pretty evil, though, bringing vitamins. Oh, my God.
Yeah, but anyway, Ben was right on. And once you do get your nutrition in, you'll automatically start dropping the pounds. I mean, look, I dropped 50 pounds before. I used to be pretty heavy when I was on a lot of processed food. And I don't exercise as much anymore as I used to. I just exercise working on my farm, basically. But I managed to stay sufficiently, fit enough to do my farm work, but I'm not athletically active at all.
And you look like you are. Let's take a quick call here. I tell you, you're definitely evil, though, trying people to eat healthy food. Jonathan in Kansas, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yes, Alex, I have two video clips on YouTube for you and one news article, but I'm going to the news article first. If you go on Google and you put in Mississippi TSA official charged in fatal stabbing.
Oh, I saw that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so basically, Assistant Federal Security Director for TSA in Mississippi has been arrested and charged for fatal stabbing.
I covered that last week. There was like 5 articles of rape, stabbings, killings, stealing, pedophile. I mean, every day they're getting busted for something, literally.
Okay. Now, the first video I'm going to is on YouTube, and you can type in Renton cops caught shredding reports on police misconduct. And basically, these cops, they went to Google, who's been known for tracking people online. They went directly to them to arrest someone because they're being made fun of by this guy because he found out about police misconduct and that they were shredding their police.
They arrested him for exposing him. Well, that sounds like freedom. What was the name of the town again?
It's Renton. That's RENTON. And you type in Renton cops caught shredding reports on police misconduct. That's one. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got it, sir.
Okay. The next one is this woman in 1947. Her name is Mrs. Lee, and she's the president of Planned Parenthood Federation. And this is an old clip of her calling for a ban on childbirth. And she says the clip is "No more babies. Expert calls for ban on childbirth." And it has 1947.
No. Planned Parenthood was founded in their founding documents. They said to exterminate black weeds and white weeds, and it was a Nazi organization. And then it gets praised by the liberals, and they have all the local liberals raise money for them and run around and do it. No More Babies is the name of the clip. We'll get that posted up at Infowars.com. That's on YouTube?
Yes, it's "No More Babies. Expert calls for ban on childbirth." And this is from 1947. So this isn't just about a woman's choice on getting abortion.
No, they want to sterilize you. Listen, you're always great calling with news. We'll check that. We'll get that up at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. And you haven't heard the last of Mike Adams. He's really going to break all this down tonight. Infowars Nightly News. And we got a special report with Dr. Connett coming up this evening as well. 7 o'clock Central, PrisonPlanet.tv. See you back here tomorrow, 11 a.m. Great job, crew.